Hello everybody and welcome to SnackTube. I've got another wee farm foods thing for you today. I had that kebab pizza which was smashing, so I bought a few things from Farm Foods and I'm going to try them. So this one is another Farm Foods one. It's a microwavable meal. This is the Farm Foods Meat Monster Pasta. They like their hype in Farm Foods. Meat Monster. The other thing was the kebab. Was it kebab monster or something? Fully loaded. Fully loaded. So this is authentic Italian pasta covered in a tangy barbecue sauce and loaded with chicken, pepperoni and minced beef topped with mozzarella. It's packed with meaty pizza toppings. So maybe it's going to taste like pizza but with pasta instead of bread, which sounds quite nice, to be honest. So yeah, it's a 550 gram thing. You do this in the microwave. And I have to say, it's a bit unorthodox the way you make this, to be honest. Normally when you do pasta or whatever in the microwave as part of a frozen meal, you tend to keep the cling film on, or the plastic on it. You stab some holes and then you'll nuke it for a bit and then you'll take it out, stir it about a bit and then put it back in. This has no plastic covering. So you literally just take the whole thing, stick it in the microwave and put it in there for 15 minutes, just straight. You don't take it out, you don't stir it or nothing. So that's what it says on the box, literally what it says there. Remove outer packaging and plastic wrap, place onto a microwavable plate and heat on full power for 15 minutes. So that's it. That's your guidance. You can do it in the oven as well. 35 to 40 minutes in the oven. I opted for the microwave because, quite frankly, I've just finished my shift at work and I cannot be bothered waiting 40 minutes for something to eat. So you have to see the state of this thing after having nuked it for 15 minutes straight. It's quite bizarre. Yeah. Looks both appealing and also unappealing. Some people will like that. Some people like what's happened to this. Some people won't. Me, yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to try it first and see. So, yeah, pretty straightforward. It's pasta. There's a bunch of meat in it. Are there instructions on here somewhere? Yeah, they're on this side of the box. So there's all your ingredients. There's quite a lot of them. Not going to go through all that. Of course, it's got your allergen advice as per usual. It's got a reasonably long shelf life. 0323, so that's not bad. Let me see if there's anything else on here that's interesting. The description's a bit different on the side. Frozen penne pasta with grilled chicken, pepperoni and minced beef topped with mozzarella. I mean, that sounds nice, generally speaking. And you can email Farm Foods. It is made for Farm Foods, so you can email Farm Foods if you're not happy. And let's have a wee look at our nutrition then, because this doesn't look good for me. It's only got per 100 grams. That's so annoying because it is one meal. Right, we'll have to give it a rough estimate. So it's 550 grams for the whole thing. So per 100 grams, 133 calories. So this is going to be almost 700 calories. Fat, 3.7 grams. So times that by 5 is, yeah, a lot. Almost 20 grams, of which saturates 1.3 grams, so that works out to, 7 or 8 grams of saturates, so quite a lot of your saturates. Carbs, 16 grams, so I'm not even going to do that maths. That's a lot. Sugars, 2.5 grams of your sugar, so again, quite high. Protein, 7.5 grams, so it is quite a lot of protein. Quite high on that size of things. And salt, 0.62 grams. So again, it is a reasonably high amount of salt, probably about 3 grams of salt. So not exactly great for you, but let's be honest, most of the stuff I eat on here isn't. So I've got to show you. So it looks so weird, right? You get a better picture of it on my Instagram, by the way. If you go and follow my Instagram, there's a link in the description. So there it is there. I don't know how well you can see that through the camera, but it's very crispy on the top. Very crispy cheese on top. It's a bit stodgy in the middle, and then right at the bottom, we've got some very dry looking pasta that wasn't quite submerged in the sauce. So the middle bit looks okay, but everything around the edges looks a bit burnt. Right, dig into this. This is a tough one to to judge. Let's try and give it a bit of a stir, shall we? I mean, I think if we give it a bit of a stir, that'll help to work the crunchy bits out, help to work the dry pasta into the sauce, give it a bit more coating. This cheese is all stuck to the edges. It's properly burnt onto the edges of the packet, or whatever you want to call it, the tray. Oofed. Can you hear it? Can you hear that lovely, lovely wet sloppiness? Right. Okay. How much of this is actually the meat? I can barely see it. There's a bit of chicken. Get a bit of chicken and a bit of pasta and some undetermined sauce, shall we? There you go. Looks alright, doesn't it? Smells barbecuey. Right. This is Farmfoods Meat Monster Pasta. Let's give it the old taste test, shall we? Okay, first impression on the first bite, that chicken is incredibly rubbery. Very, very rubbery. No wonder, I've just nooked it for 15 minutes. That is very rubbery chicken. I don't like that at all. Very hard to get down. But that bit was just pasta and cheese. Cheese is very, very rubbery as well. It's overdone. It is well overcooked. The cheese. It's just so overcooked that it's not got the right texture anymore. They're just it's very, very rubbery and quite chewy. I don't like that. Nothing so far has been completely inoffensive, but rubbery chicken is a little bit offensive, to be fair. So this has got pasta and there's some pepperonis there. It's not great pepperoni. I could have shoveled any kind of sandwich meat into my mouth there, and my guess would be as good as yours. Not very strong pepperoni flavour. Yeah, not particularly good. Look at this. This is just a bit of pasta with the crunchy side cheese on it. Yeah, crunchy nooked cheese is tough to get down. What else is supposed to be in this? Beef mince. Minced beef. Kind of see little bits of minced beef through it, but doesn't taste particularly beefy. The pasta is nothing special. It's typical penny pasta, typical cheap penny pasta. So there's nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary there. It's okay. The pasta, at the very least, the pasta does maintain its form. It does maintain its shape, so it doesn't just turn into a big mass of goo, which can happen with these things. So I'll give them that. The pasta's cooked okay. I suppose the biggest disappointment in this, I mean, I think I could make this a little bit better just by using a bit more of my own judgment. I mean, at the end of the day, I just follow the instructions on the box, right? Which is what you're supposed to do. But I think if I used a bit more of my own judgment, you know, nook it for a few minutes, take it out, stir it, nook it a bit longer, take it out and stir it. You know, do that until it's cooked all the way through, and that way you've got a better consistency with the cheese and everything. I think the idea is that the cheese is supposed to be baked on, which is fine. Probably that would work out okay if you do it in the oven, which you can do, just takes a long time. But if you're doing it in the microwave, taking it out, stirring it every 5 minutes or every 3 or 4 minutes or something, would probably work out a lot better, because then you wouldn't end up with all this encrusted cheese on the outside. The biggest disappointment is definitely the sauce though, because I'm expecting, you know, it says it's a barbecue sauce, which is fine. I don't particularly like a barbecue sauce on a pasta. I would prefer that on a burger or something. But you can smell the barbecue, but there's barely any flavour to it. It's a little bit tomatoey. It's a bit. You've got the beef mince in there, so you get that kind of texture of beef mince. You know, like kind of, I don't want to say grainy because it's not grainy, but you understand what I mean, I'm sure. But the sauce, the flavour of the sauce, it's a little bit tomatoey, but quite underwhelming. I think they're relying too much on the meat in this, or hoping that the meat will be the flavour. But the mince doesn't really add much, apart from a bit of texture maybe. The pepperonis are pretty poor pepperonis, they're bland. And then chicken is supposed to take on the flavour of the stuff that you put on it, right? Because chicken is basically flavourless, which is why it's so versatile. But the chicken in there doesn't even help to add a nice bit of texture. You don't get good chicken because it's all rubbery. And frankly, I'm looking for the chicken and I'm not finding it. I found one bit of chicken in there and I'm not finding anything else, which, you know, in retrospect, you know, on reflection, it's probably a good thing because the chicken's not very nice at all. So, overall, disappointing dish. The cheese gets way too burnt on the outside if you do it the way it says to do it on the box. The sauce is bland. The meat is bland. I've got a little bit of kick in my throat. There's a little bit of spiciness to it, but you don't taste the spiciness. I've got a little bit of kick in the throat, but doesn't really add anything. And then the cheese, it's only mozzarella cheese, so while that may provide a little bit of texture, a bit of stretchiness maybe, it's quite rubbery on this because it's been overdone. It doesn't add any flavour because mozzarella is practically flavourless, so don't know if it's even worth having it there. And then the pasta is just cheap pasta, so yeah, it is what it is. To be honest, it didn't cost me a lot of money. I think it was £2. So I'm not complaining too much. It is a decent size, you know, I'll give them that. It's a good portion, so it's a good size of food. So it's definitely enough for a main meal, but 100% wouldn't have it again. Very poor. You know, I've had a lot better microwave meals. Don't know if I've had any better microwave meals from Farmfoods, because Farmfoods their stuff's pretty cheap. But I've definitely had better ones from Iceland, that's for sure. And from other places as well, like M&S, a million times better. Obviously they're more expensive. Even Morrison's and stuff like that do a lot better than that. And that makes itself out to be something quite spectacular, and it seriously under-delivers in every way. Well, that'll do for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the wee bell to get notifications anytime a new video comes out, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Have you tried the Meat Monster pasta, and how did you like it? Well, that'll do for today. Thank you very much. I will catch you in the next video. See you then. Bye.